Hey everyone, it's Michael Walters out at the Champions Tour Championship, Lake Lahamadou, Alexandria. One of the biggest things out here, one of the main patterns, are the weed lines. There's a number of ways you can fish them. You can throw jig worms, a lot of people throw drop shots, you can even throw like weighted wacky style stuff. I'll be doing some of all of those, but the primary go-to for me tomorrow is going to be the drop shot. Let me show you a little bit about the bait and how I rigged this up for this chain out here. So basically, I'm sticking with the stick worms. This happens to be like a robo worm. This will be the smaller size. I'll actually even go to the fat one. You can do either of those. But there's a special hook that I use when using the robo worms or any of the more supple soft plastics, which normally work really well, but sometimes they tear a lot. So what I'll do is there's a special hook that robo worm makes. It's a rebarb. It actually has this little bait keeper on the back of it. Now the other reason to use this is it allows me, when you're fishing in weeds like coontail, it's really it grabs your bait or your drop shot, and so do cabbage. Those are two key weeds out here. If you worked a bait without using it weedless, you're going to catch a lot more of the weeds, and it's going to be harder to work your bait through it. So this rebarb hook allows you to be able to hook your drop shot up in a weedless way, very similar to if you were going to throw a punching rig. So when you do that, it allows me to basically have no hook exposed. The bait lies really flat, and that's one of the key things about the lighter weight and supple material of like the robo worms and some of the stuff by Zoom is it's really buoyant and it floats kind of naturally horizontal like that. So it's really important that you can have it balanced well on the hook. So for me now, I've got this set up. I'll run it for anywhere from like a foot to a 1.5 feet on the drop, depending on kind of what I'm fishing. Out here, it's actually been a little bit less. I've had maybe 10 inches to a foot. It's been the most productive for me on my drop. And then I experiment with the drop weight a little bit too. And so I'll have two different sizes. This is the 1/4, and that's going to basically be my main go-to. And then I've got a much heavier one, so if I'm out a lot deeper on the edges, past 15 feet, now I'm out 20 feet, I can get down a lot quicker and hold it tight to the bottom. So it's pretty easy setup. I run everything on anywhere from 7 to 10 pound fluorocarbon leader onto 10 pound braid. And it's pretty simple to set this up, and it's super effective. You can catch fish ever with it, but it's definitely killer out here in this chain. So I think I might have 3 of these rods rigged up with this almost identical setup tomorrow, and I expect to probably use this about 80% of the time. So be sure to check in, watch live. You'll see all kinds of different ways that these guys are catching them, and trust me, everyone's going to catch them every way from docks to deep. They're going to find smallmouth, they're going to fish current in the channels. I mean, everything is in play out here, and I expect guys to really catch them. So stay tuned, check in, and we'll see how this thing shakes out.